There seemed and has always seemed to me to be some gold standard of blackness that I'm simply not living up to just by being who I am. Take the way I speak. I speak the way I was brought up to speak, which is to say properly. I was raised in the midst of my mother's West Indian family, most of whom were brought up to speak the King's English, and this was back when Trinidad was a part of the UK. In my family's household, slang and profanity were rarely used, and certainly not by children. I was taught the proper names for everything and spoken to as a person capable of reasoning, which is to say no one used baby talk with me even when I was a toddler. The drawback, of course, when I started school was that I sounded light years older and more intelligent than my peers and some of my teachers, which didn't win me any BFFs. Second issue, the music I listen to. It tends to be alternative rock, classic rock, metal, bluegrass, or progressive rock. And I won't say that's always been the case, but I can remember being 6 or 7 years old and rocking out to Queen's Princes of the Universe. When I would visit my dad on weekends, he listened to the same music he listened to during and after his time in Vietnam. Queen, The Doors, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, The Who, etc. And though my father also listened to R&B, soul, and Motown, for some reason rock has always rung a bell for me. I can no more help that than I can help the color of my skin. The way I act is the third issue, which includes my musical taste and manner of speaking, as well as my general behavior. I've been asked more times than I care to remember why I act so white. Even now I still want to say I wasn't aware white was an action, I thought it was only a color. In general, I'm polite, friendly, and even helpful when warranted. I try to behave toward others how I'd want them to behave toward me, and, any altruistic reasons aside, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. People are much more open to one's ideas, desires, and so on if one is seen as a sympathetic soul. And if that's acting white, then more people of every race should give it a try, actual white people included. I'm quite aware that these can be pretty cosmetic things to cause a sense of disconnect between oneself and one's race, but after years of being treated as something exotic and foreign, or like a talking dog, by my American friends and my American relatives alike, I've started to feel as different as I'm treated. The hell of it is, I know I'm not. I know I may act white, talk white, and listen to white music, but the color of my skin is the first thing people will always notice about me, and well before, if ever they do, find out how I speak and what my musical tastes are. Before they see how I act, they'll see the color of my skin and make the same assumptions they do about all black people. I will have to fight the same fight as every other black person to be seen and valued for who I am, and not for my skin color.